Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a lovely day and I hope it gets better after this video. Today we're talking on how to reset and get focused for a new chapter. Maybe you are starting a new routine or fall is coming and then you feel like you want to start something new. Or maybe what you've been doing, it doesn't feel aligned with you anymore. Either way, I want to give you attainable steps to help you to move forward. So let's just get into it. So tip number one, you need to get clear on your why. At the beginning of the year, we often set our vision board and we set our goals. And honestly, I love this. I feel like we all get super excited. We start creating the vision board. We just get all crafty and we take this very, very serious, right? And then as the year goes through, especially now that we're almost close to fall, we just completely forget about our goals. Like summer is a time where we're just having so much fun, we're so busy, we're going out, and we just completely forget about our goals and what we actually set for ourselves. And sometimes it happens that as well those goals doesn't feel aligned with the version of ourselves or what is happening through our life. I feel like we don't really know what's going to happen next, so when we're creating those goals we're thinking as a version of ourselves. As time goes, we don't really feel aligned with that version of ourselves anymore. And that's okay. Life happens and we grow into new chapters, new situation of our life. We even change jobs, so we start a new relationship, just whatever it is. This is your moment to write down your goals that actually are meaningful to you. Sometimes more than often, we're just writing these goals, but we don't think more of why we're actually setting those goals. Like we need to be very mindful of that, and we need to ask ourselves, why do I want this? Does this truly excite me, or is just pressure from society, from your parents, from your friends, from your circle, just whatever it is? Like sometimes we set these goals but we don't really want to achieve them, and what happens is that we achieve the goal and we're like, isn't that good? And it's not really a waste of time because you learn from there, you got a different perspective, whatever it is. So it's never really a waste of time, but I'm pretty sure you could spend your time doing something that you're really, really passionate about, because time is limit, okay? You deserve to spend it working towards things that really fills you and that you feel really, really passionate about. So just setting random goals just because you see them online or your friends are giving you the ideas is not really it. Like you need to be mindful with your time and energy and put the energy into things that really motivate you and you feel fulfilled with. Tip number two, we need to reflect on our old habits. Write down your old habits. I feel like when we get the urge to change our life, we just do it like all the sudden. We're like, okay, tomorrow I'm gonna start waking up at 6 a.m. I'm gonna eat all greens all week and whatever. But we're not really taking the time to like kind of be honest with ourselves and be realistic of, okay, like you need to really think about those habits, because most likely those habits didn't just came like a week ago. It's like things that you constantly keep doing. Those are things that are hard to just be like, oh, I'm gonna change my life all at once, like let's be realistic. You cannot really change your life in one day or in 1 week. It's like consistent habits, little things that you're doing daily that will make the big change. Who you're surrounding yourself with, what are you consuming, what were your mindset and routines, okay? This awareness just give you such a different perspective. Of example that comes to my mind right now is the typical of, I have to work out to lose weight, okay? I feel like because we have that mindset, we're gonna end up avoiding workouts. We're gonna feel lazy, like, oh my god, I don't want to go, like, oh, I have to go, and it just feels like punishment. When we have that mindset, it doesn't feel like something that you truly enjoy. So if you shift your mindset into, I get to move my body and I get to feel strong, I get to feel healthy, I get to feel amazing, even if it's not easy, because it's not easy to shop and work out, and it's not easy to try new classes. I'm not saying that, but what happens is that your energy changes when you start thinking differently. You start attracting different things into your life, because when your thoughts change, your actions change, and that means that your life is going to change too, okay? So just being very, very aware of your thoughts and your mindset, and that means less consuming and more focusing on your life. And I'm not saying that you need to like don't use social media, like the disappear, like no, I'm really not saying that. I'm just thinking that just focus on your own lane, focus on yourself, focus on your thoughts and your mindset, what are you constantly thinking, consuming. And then every time you catch yourself thinking as your old version of yourself, like, oh my god, I have to work out, just change that mindset into like, okay, I get to work out, you know. Just like changing the perspective of things can really change your life. Tip number 3 is to practice gratitude. Okay, in order to move forward and to attract better, you have to stay grounded. Gratitude is such a powerful like tool. It can be journaling or even listing. I would really recommend that if you are in this urge to change your life, just list the things that you're grateful for. Okay, and it can really change your perspective. Like list even the most basic things, because normally when you start with one thing, you start remembering a bunch of things, like, and it's just gonna become this huge list of things that you're grateful for. And in that moment you're like, hey, actually my life isn't that bad. Like I have a lot of things that I'm grateful, I have a lot of things that I have accomplished. I feel like a lot of times when we want change is because we feel lack, or we don't feel like we are where we want to be. But when you recognize what you already have, you create more abundance into your life, you know. In the past, I constantly feel like I needed a big reset and I need to change my life, because I constantly see other people like having this incredible life and having all the millions of subscribers, and you know, like all these things that they kind of used to trigger me, you know. So then I start like doing my gratitude journal every single morning when I wake up, and I end my day with gratitude as well. So since I started doing this like consistently, I don't really feel that I need a big reset. Okay. Next tip here is to be intentional with your goals. Okay, listen to this. The key word here is intentional. Okay, intentional. In the past, I used to set the goal, for example, to be skinny. Okay, and what that used to lead to me, it was restriction. I feel hungry all the time and I just keep thinking about food, and I just have like a really bad relationship with food. Like I was just constantly thinking of like, oh my god, like that looks so good but I cannot have that, you know. And I'm just like stressed about it. I just keep thinking about like, oh, how many calories is that, or like, you know, it's just such a bad relationship. And I know that this is not for everyone. I feel like some people are actually like, it really helps to have like counting their calories or whatever. Personally, to me, it doesn't work for me. Okay, but then I realized like I have to be intentional with that goal. What is what I actually want? Do I want to look skinny? Do I really want that? Or I just want to look healthy? And then I realized that, okay, my goal is not to look skinny, because I don't imagine in the future having kids and then having a bad relationship with food, because it's not gonna affect myself anymore. It's going to affect my partner, is going to affect my kids. And do I really want that? No, I don't want that. So I have to be intentional with what I'm choosing. And that means that instead of being skinny, I just want to be healthy. I just want to have balance. I want to be able to enjoy my ice cream, but I'm gonna have a nice balanced dinner after, like a salad and a steak and sweet potato. You know, it's just like having balance, and just I want to feel nourished. You know, it's like feeling balanced. So instead, my goal is going to change, right? Because I don't want to be skinny anymore. So the goal is going to change. It becomes something that actually I can keep for the rest of my life. I mean, yeah, it's like I think when it comes to like fitness goal, especially with food, this is something that I want to keep for the rest of my life. But it's just like having good energy and just feeling good with your body. So when you set a goal, you need to ask yourself, is this really my goal, or is this someone else's expectations? Is society? Is just this no acceptance of yourself as well? It can be, you know, we have to be very intentional of your goal and what you're choosing, because it can really determine your path, and it can sometimes train you and sometimes it can be good for you. So be intentional with your goals. Okay, and tip number, I don't even remember which number are we right now, but next tip is to choose one chain at a time. Okay, one chain at a time. Here is the trap where we all fall into. I fell into this so many times. It's actually insane. Like some days I'm just on a random Sunday, I'm just like, mm, I want to change my whole life. And I sign up for workout classes. I go and buy all the healthy food. I'm like putting all the alarms to wake up at 5 a.m. I'm like, I'm gonna change my life. I swear, this week is going to happen. And I do it for a couple days. And then by the end of the week, I ended up tired, eating a burger, overeating, and I'm just feel stressed. Okay, and I feel like we are not doing that anymore. Okay, we are taking ourselves serious. Like I personally, I what really helped me, and I'm talking from experience, like I'm talking from your friend who tried to change her life so many times, but I just keep failing on until I did all the steps that I already shared with you. And this one I think is the most important one. You need to pick one thing that is a more sustainable way to actually change your life, to actually become the version of yourself that you want to be, instead of just like change everything at once, because that's really not sustainable. That's not something that you can know that you can hold for a long time. Okay, so pick one thing. For example, early this summer my goal was to wake up every single day at 6 a.m. because I want to be able to walk and see the sun, and it's just like so nice and warm, and I want to be out, I want to enjoy summer, right? So then I started small. I started, okay, if I want to wake up at 6 a.m. every single day, including Sundays, what do I have to do? Okay, first of all, of course, I need to fix my sleep. Fixing my sleep, I need to create a night routine. That, by the way, that video is coming up this coming week, so just subscribe. But anyway, so I was like, okay, I need to fix my sleep, right? I realized that what I used to do early this summer is that before going to bed, I shower and everything, I jump into bed, and then I'm just scrolling, and I used to find like to me my excuse is like, oh, I'm getting motivation, I'm getting inspiration, because as you guys know, because I'm a content creator, so like I was thinking like, oh, let me look into what's trendy for music and whatever. Like my excuse is that I was working, but then I was enjoying, like I wasn't really working, I'm just like scrolling. But anyways, so then I realized that was a really bad thing, because what happened, like you started scrolling for 10 minutes, and then when you realize it's already 12. So that's really bad. So I was like, okay, I need to fix this. The first thing that I'm gonna do is that I'm going to start reading a book at night. And then that was my first step. Okay, once I was consistent and I mastered to be consistent for at least 2 weeks on reading a book, it did help me, like it actually was like something that I was like, okay, this is working. So now let's start implementing waking up at 6 a.m. on Monday and Tuesday. So then I start 2 times per week, 2 days per week, and then slowly I just start adding things. But then you first need to master one thing at a time, and then slowly you're going to add, because what happened here is that you're gonna feel so good and so proud of yourself. When I was able to like read the book for 2 weeks straight, I was like, yeah, this is amazing. So now I can slowly start waking up early. Like I can do it on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday, and I just feel so good. And you know what happened now? I'm able to wake up every single day at 6 a.m. and I don't feel tired. I feel amazing, and I feel so proud of myself. And the next thing that it happened into my list, or my goal, is that now I'm walking with a friend 2 times per week at 7 a.m. So once, my point here is that once you start acting as that version of yourself, you start attracting the people, the actions, the steps, and I think that's a wonderful thing. And my next tip, I'm really passionate about this one, but is to stay in your lane. Oh, okay, I cannot emphasize this enough, because I know we live in a time where it's so easy to just go to Instagram, go to TikTok, YouTube, whatever, and then just like lose yourself into the comparison like trap. Okay, like you're just like comparing with, oh my god, she did that weekend, and she's, you know, like it's just so much hard. But then truly, as your friend, I'm telling you, don't compare your journey to anyone else. Like your journey, you are so unique, and no one can copy you, no one can be you. So you have to like acknowledge, like be grateful for your life and everything that you, everything about you, because that's something that no one can take from you. Okay, so your reset is gonna look different from others, so you need to focus on your lane, your goals, your growth, and that's where true reset happens. When you are so focused on yourself that you just kind of ignore whatever else is going on, because you're like, hey, okay, I did it. Like I, for 2 weeks I was able to don't scroll on my phone before going to bed, and that's amazing. Like that's something that you should be proud of yourself, because that change is going to bring even more change into your life. So just be very mindful of that and just focus on you. And I swear this is just going to bring so many more opportunities to you. You're going to attract better, you're gonna feel better, you're gonna feel confident. It's like the best thing that you can do for yourself to stay in your life. Okay, so I really hope this video was so helpful and gave you clarity on how to reset for your new chapter. Let me know in the comments you are committing this week. I will see you next Tuesday. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.